I would like to invite them on stage to accept a Storyteller's Prize from the Mixed Remixed Festival, Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
We've been working on season 4 of Key and Peele, and so we were working very hard for you. So we didn't have really any time to prepare anything too special here. But we first of all we want to say if Obama and his anger translator were here,
Right.
He probably said something like, I just want to say how happy I am to be honored here by Mixed Remixed. All right. Where's Donald Sterling at? I got some words for him. All right. I want to talk to Donald Sterling. All right, little brother. Because his reputation is not sterling. All right, settle down. This is about love, not hate. That's right. I love y'all. Yeah, no, that's it. That's what we had right there. That's a bit. That's a bit. I'm so glad this is free.
Something that I just wanted to say, we just go back and forth, you know.
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Something I wanted to say is, this is not trying to pour it on thick or anything, but this Storyteller's Award, this prize actually means a great deal to us, and that's because you can get a Peabody and you can be on the cover of Time magazine and you can hopefully get an Emmy nomination. All of that stuff can happen. But at the end of the day, those things, one can be recognized for what one does, but that doesn't necessarily mean you belong. And, oh geez,
We all know what half of everybody just went.
Word, preach.
Preach.
Preach it. You got to speak the truth. This might turn into a show. Wait a minute. But what happens here, you know, the time when we come here, it's that we belong. It's that we belong to this group. And something I remember is being a 12-year-old boy and spending a good deal of time with my friends, who the majority of them were Caucasian. And then finding this wonderful thing in my life, my friend Peter Kuzniar, who was the youngest of 6 kids, and you know, I'm 43 now, so his oldest siblings were old enough to listen to really great, you know, 60s music. And I remember discovering a thing. I remember my friend putting a record on a record player and putting the needle down. And I heard the song Fire by Jimi Hendrix. And he said to me, "Man, you don't know Jimi? Man, that's Jimi." And I said, "No, what is this?" And my world exploded in that moment. And I said, "I don't know who this guy is, but he belongs to me and I belong to him. Here's this black man who's shredding so hard on this guitar and playing white music, and got 2 guys behind him to perform with him, and did it in England, and I was intrigued." And I'm being very honest right now. I have not felt that kind of belonging until I met Heidi and her team. I have not felt that kind of sensibility, and the one hiccup in the middle was meeting this fellow here.
A hiccup.
except for the second, besides my wife, the second most important thing that's ever happened to me. I'm sorry, I just skipped that part. What I mean to say is that, simply is to say that this means a lot to us. It means so very much to us. And because it's us, it's all of us who walk that tightrope. We're the tightrope dwellers. And below us and next to us are these precipices and landscapes of diversity and culture, and we're the ones that traverse the tightrope. And it's so nice to know, because a tightrope can be a lonely place. And
This is going to turn into church right
I
here.
know.
No, do it. I love it.
Two things. I was trying to not make it turn into church and
Bring
not
it.
cry, and they're both about to go
Bring
away right
it.
now.
Bring it all.
I also want to thank, and there's one here, I want to thank the network that we work for, Comedy Central. Because Comedy Central, yes. Comedy Central decided to throw down the gauntlet and say, here's a story we want to hear. We want to hear their story. They pushed and pushed and pushed, and they always said, the thing is, the only thing they ever got annoying about was more biracial stuff. It was never make it blacker, or what are you guys doing, or I don't understand that. It was always make it more biracial, whatever that meant, which meant that we had to kind of plumb the depths of ourselves to figure out what we were doing.
Yeah. You know, that's the most interesting part about all this for me, is that when Comedy Central asked us, who are you, we didn't immediately have an answer for them.
No, we didn't.
Like, well, we're everything, you know, was kind of the answer. And I think when we brought that in as an answer, that was something that they knew was relevant. And I think that we, being in show business, as far as show business is concerned, we've been, we're African American actors. And to have this other part of our story be brought into the discussion was a very new thing. And I think, in my mind, I don't know about you, but I think in the back of my mind, I felt like no one has a story like me. So what interest, how is that interesting to tell this part of our story? No one's gonna, you know, comedy to me is something to be related to. And I think what we found in, you know, just discussing with each other, what is this story? What is the mixed experience? And how would you put that in a comedy scene? We found a type of comedy that doesn't just speak to mixed people, but it speaks to everybody. Because on some level, the issues that you deal with as a mixed person are the same issues everybody deals with. And it's about being in an in-between place and being more complex than you are given credit for or that people assume about you. So, you know, flash forward to a couple years later, and all of a sudden this part of our identity has come to the surface that is so beautiful, and that I'm sure Keegan will agree, there's nothing more warm and special than being approached by a person in a mixed family who will approach us and say, thank you for addressing my life. And so now we realize now that there are many people out there who know exactly these types of issues that we go through. And that is a feeling of family, and it's really special to us. Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to say was that in regard to the network and entertainment in general, you know, there's an appetite. Clearly, you know, it's all about commerce. So there's an appetite for what we are and who we are. or Comedy Central wouldn't have pursued us. And so the wonderful thing is that there's so many more avenues out there for us to tell our story. So for us to tell our story through the internet and through television, and it's about writing our own pieces. Telling our story. If we put our story out there, and it's our story and the human story at the same time, it will resonate. And it's just good to know that we're living in a day and age where that's possible. Because it's so funny, you know, that our time has only come now, but aren't we the melting pot? And so, let there be a new melting pot, and let it begin with us. Thank you so much.